Everyone is welcome to join the group, and if you're new to the channel, I hope you'll subscribe by the end of the video. In the past 2 years, Ripple's community and SafeCoin have grown very quickly. When we think about that, we know that Ripple is fully on board with the stablecoin change. That was one of the big projects that everyone worked on. Now is the time to do it because stablecoins are getting a lot of attention from the U.S. government and other countries around the world. For example, stablecoins in the U.K. are now fully ready. This is because they are based on paper money like the U.S. dollar, pound sterling, or euro. I'm talking about this because of Panos Post here. There are stablecoins out there, and the event in question happened not long ago. Third-party payment flows. Payments can be made through the Ripple Payments UEIE or API as either a single transaction or a series of transactions. These payments can be seen under payment flows. Originators ask the Ripple network for a price on the payment, and if the price is accepted, the payment is made. The payment process starts and the money is sent almost right away. Names like originator, sender, and then Ripple show how it breaks down. We also have ramps over here that let you accept stablecoins as payment without having to store digital assets. This is useful in places like parts of Africa, Asia, and Latin America, where stablecoins are widely used. Using money as well as freelancer and supplier payments in over 25 different currencies, stablecoins can help custodial sites. That's right, this is the Ripple payment. Again, you can also do more with your stablecoins. For example, you can use them for funds transfers and merchant settlements. Off-ramps accept stablecoins as payment for money, transfers, and payouts for business. You can use your stablecoin amount to pay your employees and contractors. The fiat stablecoin trading off-ramps make it easy for traders and people making withdrawals to switch from stablecoin to fiat. Now that we've thought about it, a lot of people are asking, how does this even help? Since we already have an expert down here, many people don't see how the stablecoin is good for experts. I don't mean to insult them, but it's clear that stablecoins have been very important for many things in the crypto world over the last few years. This is about how Bitcoin has grown. To use Ethereum as an example, let's look at how much it has grown. Check out NFTs. In 2021, NFTs were very important to Ethereum. They were the major reason why it hit almost $5,000, 0 cents. Not only were NFTs available on Ethereum at that time, but there were also meme coins. Because of what happened with Dogecoin, we know that meme coins on Ethereum are very popular. However, you could look at this and say that the price of Ethereum was going down until 2022, even though the number of NFTs sold was going up. September and October 2021 were the worst months. Not long after that, Ethereum hit around $5, 0 cents. One thing that was clear was that sales of NFTs were picking up quickly. In fact, Ethereum hit its first peak in May or June, but it wasn't just NFTs that sped things up. I also found that, as I already said, it was also the start of joke coins on Ethereum. What I want you to understand here are the network effects. These networks get bigger with NFTs and meme coin. As more people use them, the value of the core asset goes up. This is also true for Bitcoin and Tether. Many people have said in the past that Bitcoin is closely linked to, we look at what RAS could do for XRP, because that's why it might be true. Ripple isn't just making RAS without thinking about it. It has something to do with some things they don't explain at all in their statement. But let's think about this. Tether has had a big impact. A lot of people buy, trade, or use US dollars that are tied to Bitcoin. This is all because of the network. Network effects may have something to do with everything we see in the sky. The same thing happened with Solana and main points. In 2024, everyone thought, wow, Solana is really going through the roof. Isn't all of this other stuff there? From its lowest point at the end of September to its highest point in March 2024, Solana was crazy. It went from about $21, 0 cents to about $200, 0 cents. And it all happened because of meme coins. Okay. We can see that this is still connected to $124 billion, 0 cents. If we look at the top Senna ecosystem, a lot of these are joke coins. For example, Trump is at the end of the list. These are just joke coins. And there are a lot of them, like dog with a hat pudgy penguins in this case. It's kind of like a meme coin casino. If we look at the area around Solana on CoinMarketCap, we can see that two $25 coins are listed. We know that CoinMarketCap doesn't show everything. There are a lot of joke coins that have something to do with Solana. The community value of Ethereum is $324 billion, 0 cents. And the market value of Ethereum is $170 billion, $760 million, 0 cents, which is almost $2 billion, 0 cents. If we scroll down to see all of these 20 tokens, there are currently 374 of them. And a lot of them are joke coins, but there are also a lot of great utility-based projects that are linked to 20. The most important thing I want you to know is that everyone is interested in what RAS could be used for. It's like the Grasper system. Everyone is thinking, oh, well, this isn't good for XRP because what have we been force-fed for the last couple of years? But I believe it could actually make things better. We've been told that XRP is going to try to get all the money in the world. It will be good for XRP if Rust is used in stablecoin projects for cross-border payments, DeFi use cases, or business DeFi and tokenization use cases. In fact, it's not bad for XRP at all. There aren't many projects connected to XRP, about 27 of them in the community, and many of them don't do anything. On the Joe Coin side of things, it's kind of the same now. A lot of great things are linked to XRP as well, like Sologenic, but the expert community is still very new. What's important is that we get involved. To really understand this, I think the best way is to look at how the safe coin might help XRP. To give you an example, we know that Tether has had a big effect on Bitcoin through network effects. This is similar to how Circle has affected Ethereum and other stable coins that are linked to Ethereum. We also think about DeFi for Ethereum, since Ethereum is a big part of the DeFi market. Over 1,000 systems, including the DeFi market, are connected to Ethereum. When we think about network effects and what they might mean for these base assets, we think of things like a stable coin that's good for the network. In this case, we also look at the X record, of which there are about 300 million copies, a big chunk of which are on. You might think that's only good for Ethereum, but the Grush ledger still has almost 100 million coins, which is still a lot. In this case, what I'm most interested in is how the adoption of RAS might affect the XRP ledger in terms of demand for the underlying asset, which in this case is XRP and is paid for in gas. For example, the FX market handles $75 billion worth of transactions every day. Every single day, XRP would also be helped a lot by the safe coin. I think this is what most people don't understand about how it will help SCR. It is thought by many that Rust and other safe coins based on Ripple will destroy SCRP. I don't know who keeps saying that the stablecoin is bad, a gloomy sign or a negative sign. The stablecoin is actually very good for. As more stablecoins are added to the XRP ledger, I become more positive. This is because, for example, if we have a USD stablecoin on the XRP ledger like we do with raw USD, and then Bank adds a Brazilian real stablecoin to the XRP ledger, I'm becoming more optimistic, which is great. Next, we'll look at the stablecoin's general start years on the everything starts to come together at once, and you can see the FX market moving on the chain. All of these things are important for the future